Zach Roloff and Tori Roloff buying a new firm, this farm, price $3 million. Little People, Big World star. Matt Roloff selling family farm, again, with major price change. Little People, Big World alum, Matt Roloff has listed his family's famous farmhouse for sale once again, this time with a major price cut. The former TLC star, 63, is listing 16 acres of his 109-acre Helvetia Ordos property, including a 373-square-foot farmhouse, for $2,895,000, with the real brokerage. As first reported by People, Roloff Farm and the original farmhouse has been a monumental part of my life for over 30 years. The reality personality told the outlet in a statement. This legacy property was shared with millions of you around the world through Little People Big World. It holds some of the most magical memories and will forever live deep in my heart. Yes, I had truly hoped that the entire farm would remain in the family forever. But life happened, and that was not meant to be, added Matt, who is dad to twins Jeremy Roloff and Zach Roloff, 34, daughter Molly Roloff, 31, and son Jacob Roloff, 28, with ex-wife Amy Roloff. My kids each have their own wonderful lives, some with their own farms, projects, and their own individual dreams, which I honor and am so proud of. The family's 5-bedroom, 5.5-bathroom farmhouse is also decked out with a custom kitchen, home theater, 6-car garage, swimming pool, and spa. As I approach my 64th birthday, this old grandpa has learned that less is truly more, said Matt, who has been spending most of his time in Arizona with fiancée Corinne Chandler since 2018. These days, I find joy in life's simpler blessings, spending time with my precious grandchildren, focusing on a new exciting TV project, and soaking up the Arizona sunshine. The Roloff family's farm has been an issue of contention since Matt and Amy's 2016 divorce. In 2020, Amy, 62, sold her portion of the land to her ex-husband for $975,000, and while both Zach and Jeremy told their father they'd be interested in buying part of the farm, he put the land up for sale to the public in May 2022 for $4 million. In October 2022, Matt took the property off the market, announcing that the main home would now serve as a vacation rental. In August 2023, Matt put the property back on the market for $3,395,000, but he then took it back off the market for a second time in December 2023. Little People, Big World star. Matt Roloff reveals family farm is back on the market. Details on updated listing. Fans of Little People Big World have the opportunity to purchase a piece of reality TV history again. Nearly 3 years after listing a piece of Roloff Farms on the market for $4 million, Matt Roloff has revealed that he is once again hoping to offload a portion of his family's famous Hillsboro, Oregon farm, this time for the new and reduced price of $2,895,000. Roloff Farmland. The original farmhouse has been a monumental part of my life for over 30 years. The father of 4 revealed to People this week. This legacy property was shared with millions of you around the world through Little People Big World. It holds some of the most magical memories and will forever live deep in my heart. As the Ashley previously told you, when Matt initially listed the portion of Roloff Farms, which includes the Roloff family's former home, notable Red Barn, and 16 of the farm's 109 acres, he made it clear that he wasn't happy about selling the property, as he wanted it to stay in the family. Matt insinuated at the time that his twin sons, Zach and Jeremy Roloff, were to blame for him having to sell the farm, ultimately igniting a feud between Zach and Matt that became public when Zach blasted his dad on social media in May 2022 for manipulating the narrative of the situation to Little People Big World fans. Indeed, despite his efforts to sell the listed portion of Roloff Farms in summer 2022, Matt went on to announce in October 2022 that he was scraping the sale idea and instead turning the 6-bedroom, 5.5-bathroom farmhouse into a short-term rental which opened to guests in December 2022. Less than 8 months later, Matt relisted the home for $3,395,000, a significant decrease from the initial $4 million asking price. While Matt noted this week that he truly hoped that the entire farm would remain in the family forever, he claimed that life happened and that was not meant to be. My kids each have their own wonderful lives, some with their own farms, projects, and their own individual dreams, which I honor and am so proud of, he added. As for why he isn't planning to hold on to the piece of property himself, Matt said that as he approaches his 64th birthday, he's learned that less is truly more. These days, I find joy in life's simpler blessings, spending time with my precious grandchildren, focusing on a new, exciting TV project, and soaking up the Arizona sunshine, he said. As the Ashley previously reported, Matt and fiancée Corinne Chandler purchased a home in Surprise, Arizona from Corinne's parents in 2018 for $375,000 as a vacation home. Matt said he's also hoping that the piece of Roloff Farms will bring the new owners as much happiness as it brought his own family over the years. The moment you step on the farm, your senses tingle, your imagination soars, and your heart feels like your home, he continued. We know the next owner will love it as much as we did. How much Zach Roloff offered Matt for the farm, explained. Zach made a competitive offer for Roloff Farms based on what his dad bought his mom out for, but it was significantly lower than what Matt asked for when he put the home on the market. Amy regrets selling the farm back to Matt and had hoped he would negotiate with the boys to allow them to take over. Zach and his family have moved into a new home an hour away, distancing themselves from Matt and the family drama surrounding the farm sale. Their relationship will never be the same. With all the talk about selling or not selling, Roloff Farms, Little People, Big World, there's curiosity surrounding what Zach offered for the land. Zach and Matt Roloff were in a year-long standoff over negotiations for the family farm that fell through. While Zach hoped to take over the land, Matt had other ideas. He took the farms off the market and then shifted to a rental before returning it to the real estate market. Amy Roloff sold her 32 acres of the family farm to Matt in 2020 for a low $975,000. Before that sale, Amy also sold a portion of her land back in 2019 for $667,000. The LPBW matriarch hoped that selling her half would make it easier for Matt to allow his older sons, Zach and Jeremy Roloff, to come in for a repurchase of her shares. Sadly, Matt claimed he tried his best to sell to his twins by giving them a half-off family discount, but Zach didn't see the offer that way. What did Zach really offer for Roloff Farms? Matt finally paid $1,642,000 to own the entirety of Roloff Farms. During the season premiere of Little People, Big World, Zach noted that he had made a competitive offer, telling cameras, "I had a starting point, and it was based on what my dad bought my mom out for." Viewers can see how his father's counteroffer may have put off Zach. If Zach chose to offer around $1.6 million, and Matt asked for $4 million when he put the home on the open market, that is a difference of almost $500,000. It is no wonder Zach felt cheated by his father, as the patriarch may have been trying to make a profit. Amy regretted selling the farm back to Matt. While it is clear that neither Zach nor Jeremy will be taking over the family business, Amy still has regrets about selling the farm back to her ex-husband. During an episode of Little People, Big World, Amy shared that she had hoped that Matt would do the right thing and negotiate with the boys. Amy then candidly revealed that she chose to leave the farm for her boys to be able to take over. Even though Amy may be sad and wishes she had done things differently, Zach has moved on and bought a house out of town. The Little People, Big World star and his family moved into a new home an hour away in Battleground, Washington, where they have space away from Matt and the family drama. It's safe to assume that Zach tried to be conservative, and Matt expected much higher. In the end, money unfortunately came between the family. Jacob Roloff, Matt and Amy's youngest son, has been doing most of the work on the property but is uninterested in buying. The drama of the farm sale is ongoing. Unfortunately, Zach and Matt's relationship will never be the same. Zach Roloff talks about having to film on a rigid schedule for Little People Big World, Igand. During his childhood, very stressful. Zach Roloff starred on Little People Big World alongside most of his family for 25 seasons, but the father of 3 revealed this week that appearing on the TLC series wasn't something he always enjoyed. On a recent episode of his and wife Tori Roloff's Raising Heights podcast, Zach reflected on the early days of Little People Big World, admitting that while it was fun at times, it was also very stressful. It was odd because there was always this expectation that I should be doing something right now, he said, as reported by Monsters critics. When people say reality television, I always think there's a little caveat there because, at the end of the day, these people are paying for a crew to be here. Regarding the early days of Little People Big World, Zach said his mom, Amy Roloff, did a pretty good job of keeping Zach and his siblings grounded, noting that the Roloff kids continued attending the same school and kept the same close friends as they had before the show began filming. He also admitted that it was fun at times, getting to travel to different cities to promote the series. But it was also very stressful, he added. And some of that is the family dynamic. Some of it is how I feel the family handled reality television. My mom and dad did a lot of good things, but then there are times where I'm like, we could have done that better, especially in the last, 10 years probably. Zach admitted that he could not stand filming the show in public, which he compared to being on a movie set in the middle of a public setting, as it would lead to everyone staring at you. He also said the dynamic changed as he got older, as filming the series became more of a business than it was in the early seasons. They did not just sit around all day filming, it was, hey, here are film days, 2 days a week. He said, calling the format rigid. I always say it's real, like what we're doing was reality, in a sense, but it was like a scheduled reality, he added. As the Ashley previously told you, Zach and Tori announced in February that they were stepping away from the TLC series, citing their 3 children as a huge reason, along with the current situation involving Zach's dad Matt Roloff and Roloff Farm. As fans of the show know, Zach and Matt began feuding in May 2022 after Matt announced on social media that he was selling a portion of Roloff Farm, despite previously claiming that he wanted to farm to stay in the Roloff family. Matt's announcement seemingly blamed his and ex-wife Amy's twin sons, Zach and Jeremy Roloff, for having to sell the farm, which proceeded to kick off a public feud between Zach and Matt that played out on both social media and the family's TLC show. In May, Zach revealed on an episode of his podcast that the situation with his dad had yet to improve since filming the season 25 finale of Little People Big World nearly a year ago. He also hinted that his father's narcissism and inability to admit that he did anything wrong may be a big reason why the father-son relationship had yet to be repaired. As of now, TLC has not announced whether or not there will be another season of Little People Big World. Oregon's Roloff Farm, featured on Little People Big World, for sale again. Fans of the TLC series Little People Big World have watched members of Oregon's Roloff family go through all sorts of changes, from kids growing up to family members leaving the show and the divorce of Matt Roloff and Amy Roloff. One familiar element remained, though, and that was the family's home on Roloff Farms in the Helvetia area. But the fate of the property became a contentious issue, as the Oregonian, Oregon Live, and other sources reported that Matt Roloff announced in 2022 that he wanted to sell part of the farm, a 16-acre parcel, listed for a price of $4 million. But that wasn't the end of the story. As People magazine reported later in 2022, Roloff said he was pulling the part of the farm off the market, and instead plan to turn it into an Airbnb-style destination for travelers. Drama ensued. As one of the Roloff offspring, Zach Roloff, expressed interest in buying part of the farm, which didn't happen. Instead, Zach and his wife Tori and their family moved from Oregon and settled in Battleground, Washington. In 2024, Zach and Tori Roloff announced that they plan to depart Little People, Big World.